welcome back to The World is Storytelling with me, Ronni. And just like the last episode, we're back in the Mourne Mountains of County Down. And unlike the previous time, the weather is horrific. But the company made up for it 1,000 times over. I was in the Mourne Mountains with the fantastic Lizzy Noone. And I'm very excited for everyone to hear Lizzy's stories and Lizzy's take on life. It was really joyful to spend a day with her hiking up Slieve Binnian. It's quite lovely to remember these amazing hikes that I've been on. This one only a few short weeks ago because I am currently stuck with a broken toe and in a boot and on crutches, which is less conducive to hiking in the mountains. But I'm sure I'll be back very soon with more stories from the hills. Now, before we get to Lizzy's wonderful stories, I have a question for you all. Why did two school tables look like they were in deep conversation with each other? Because they were discussing things. Oh, that was really bad. Thank you so much for listening and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
So tell the story, one that is true. Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Who am I? And who are you? And where are we? And where are we are too? I don't know.
We are on Binnian in North Tor.
And who are you?
I am Lizzy Noone.
Hello, Lizzy.
How are you?
I'm great. Would you like to describe to the audience where exactly we are sitting and what's going on around us?
Well, it's quite a windy day in June in the middle of the Mourne Mountains. We are in exactly our spot is North Tor, but we're sitting in a place which we call the Mary because she looks like a woman's bits.
Okay. You didn't tell me that before.
Yes.
That's why it's called.
She's the Mary. Look.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't think of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are literally sitting in Mary's.
Yes, we're having lunch in. I didn't tell you that we were sitting in. Yeah. We're having lunch in a gee, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you can put that in the podcast.
Ah, yeah, sure. We just lots of people won't understand it anyway. So, what just happened to you, Lizzy?
My tooth just fell out, so I just lost half my tooth. Yeah, because it was like a false half tooth, and it's my very front tooth. But I was in complete bliss eating my beautiful sandwich in the middle of the mountains, and it was a nice, well-deserved sandwich, and I kind of forgot that I shouldn't really bite straight into it, and yeah. Yes.
And how do you feel now? Because just before that we were talking about how blissful it is to be just here in the wind and blowing away all the cobwebs and looking out at the cloud. We can't see anything, but that's amazing in itself. And we're in the shadow of these amazing rocks. And how do you feel now?
Oh, I still feel great.
Yeah.
It could be fixed. It's fine. It has not affected my day at all. Yes.
That's lovely.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't really. It matters less because you're here. And I think that is one thing that I get out of the Mournes, and I don't want to just take from them, because I also I thank them all the time for what they give to us, because it never nothing else matters. It's something much you feel when you're here, that you're tiny, and you know it's like you're taking a step back, and it's like a bigger picture of what life is about, because you're like, everything is so huge. And on days like this in particular, where you can't see anything, there's something about the nothingness of these particular mountains that bring like a lot of joy and peace as well at the same time. And you really don't regret that you've kind of spent the day just in the nothingness, I guess.
Brilliant. Maybe you'd call Slieve Oblivion?
Exactly. Yes, yes. And I think particularly here and this particular mountain and this particular trail, there's so many beautiful features. Like there's a lot of beautiful like rock formations. So it gives you this kind of otherworldly feeling about this. It's almost like alien landscape. So that kind of takes it out of yourself and out of, I suppose, society, properly out in pure nature as well.
Yeah. Talking about pure nature, my hands are feeling pure naturally cold.
Yeah. Mine too.
So shall we? Maybe we'll carry this on when we
We'll
get down
carry it
somewhere.
on when we get. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye for now. Thank you, Liz.
My name is Lizzy Noone.
Hello.
And we are just at the bottom of Binnian, which is in the Mourne Mountains, which is in the county of... Actually, is it the county Down still? Yeah, it is still County Down. And it is one of the most beautiful places, I would say, on earth. And it is so beautiful that it's almost unearthly.
That it really is. And we've just come down from hiking Binnian, and we had a lot of cloud and driving wind and rain at the top. But then on our way down, we hit clarity.
Yes, in more ways than one, I think. It's
yes.
almost like as you... And that's the usual, I suppose, experience on Binnian of like that horizontal rain. There's always horizontal rain somewhere along the way when you're hiking that path.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful moment. I think if it was a case that it was like the sun was splitting the stones all the time here with like blue skies, you wouldn't get that feeling of almost because when we came down and when we descended, you saw all these beautiful spots, almost spotlighting of green and spotlighting of like the grey mountains of the like part of the reservoir. So it almost made it even more special or magical because it was only these little pockets that you could see of this brightness and beautiful brightness and clarity.
And the way you describe it now, I'm like, yeah, it was. It really, really was. There's a few things that really hit me about the way you climb up hills. And, you know, we've never climbed a hill together before.
Okay.
And it was really, really fantastic. Number one, on the way up, we were talking about kind of not having this idea of conquering a mountain, but of, you know, walking with a mountain or on a mountain, together with a mountain. And I don't want to say you humanize various things, but you kind of do. You know, the brook had a human named Barbara, and you spend time hugging rocks. And then when we came down to the Crossroads, we did something else, which I'm going to ask you about in a second. But how does it feel for you to climb a hill? And maybe particularly this one?
I think it's like, it is back to the not conquering it. Like I kind of, it sounds really, really, I suppose, strange, but like that you're part of the mountain almost. So you have to kind of like let it envelop you.
Yeah.
Into the mountain itself, and almost like that you're grateful for the mountain. It's kind of like, it would be the same. I'd find the same relationship, say, with the sea, that I would thank it going into the sea. And I'd often, if your emotions, say, are anger, or you've something to get out from the sea or the mountain or whatever, you almost thank it for absorbing whatever it is that needs to be absorbed. And then you always feel like you have to bring it joy as well as sorrow or anything like that. I know that sounds very, very strange. But the rock thing, I think, comes from, and particularly this mountain, is that the features are so beautiful that they almost have like a human face to them. And they're so spectacular that you just are like, Jesus, thank you. Thank you for being there. Yeah. And the hike that we've just done, and given that we had I don't think we had visibility for a couple of hours, it meant that they almost appeared out of nowhere in front of us. And that was, you're even more grateful that they were appearing. It also meant we knew where we were going. So I'm not getting lost.
Yeah.
If I was to go kind of deep back into it, and like I'm thinking of like it in historic sense, I know that there's some theorists and historians that kind of put back our separation with the nature back to like the age of the Enlightenment, and how, I suppose, dangerous that was, that we decided as a human race to separate ourselves, and that nature was something that we could control. And some even say, I think it was Sylvia Frederici, she would have had, she kind of theorised that women were also part of that kind of untamed nature, I guess. So I think the more that we like unseparate ourselves from nature and not see it as, you know, something to be conquered or something to be, you know, used, I suppose. So even if it sounds like mumbo jumbo that we're like hugging rocks or being part of a mountain while you're climbing it, you know, the thought is there. And I think that the more we put that thought into it, maybe we can break down some of that separation that's happened over centuries.
Yeah. I don't think it sounds strange or mumbo jumbo at all. I think it's very beautiful to be... You're setting the scene, you know, for yourself and the experience you're having by, you know, as you say, thanking the mountain and having this connection with the mountain, which is not just, I will walk on top of you. Now, and that's, I think, really inspiring, because it reminds the people that you're with, in this case me, of the, you know, I love hiking, but there's this, I think this experience today hiking with you is there's this liveliness within this place, which comes out so much more when, you know, when someone walks the way that you walk. And I'm really fascinated, really interested by that, and which does lead us on to the liveliness at the Crossroads. So tell me about the Crossroads. Like tell me what happened. First of all, tell our listeners what happened.
Okay, so on this particular route, there's a crossroads. It's a path. It's only a path, and it connects like different mountains, and you know, it can lead you on lots of different routes. But I guess one of the first times that I was on Binnian with my friend Nicola, and I guess we had some kind of a hiker's high, that we were singing songs, and like singing songs separately, or maybe going off to have a conversation with ourselves, and it wasn't necessarily and maybe coming back together and singing. And so by the time we got to the Crossroads, and it was a similar day where, you know, we were beginning to see brightness in the sky, you know, after horizontal rain. And we were like, it's a crossroads. And traditionally, I guess, in villages throughout Ireland, and probably throughout England as well, like traditionally the place for dancing was at the Crossroads.
Okay.
So every time I pass that particular crossroads, which is quite likely because it's not only where you'd hike from, you know, you'd cross over it doing different routes as well. You have to dance at you don't have to, but it's
you have to
dance at the Crossroads. So today we had not only like, I think, you know, traditionally it would have been kind of Irish dancing, but I was thinking today, like what kind of, you know, on the way down, I was like, what kind of dance will emerge, I guess, from, and it did, this fantastic stomping dance like emerged, and it was nice and kind of frenzied, I guess, and gave kind of new energy for the remainder of the hike.
It did, and it was really lovely. I don't think I've danced at a Crossroads before, but maybe I can take on the tradition from now. Yeah.
It was a spectacular dance as well that you did. It was like a mixture between like the haka and possibly, what's that? The dancing, the Morris dancing. Morris dancing, actually. It was similar to Morris dancing. Yeah, you did bring out the Morris dancing in it.
Thank you. You know what?
Very good.
I've seen a few of them. They're actually quite good. They're really good. I like that. The tapping of the sticks and all that. Maybe I should bring hiking poles next time and do a Morris dancing.
Yes.
This is when we first spoke about climbing a hill together. You didn't have to have a second thought about which hill it would be. Yes. Straight away, you and Nicola as well, who was hoping to come with us. Straight away was Binnian. Why?
Binnian, I guess my kind of, it's funny, given that like the Mourne is actually quite close to, well, an hour and a half from where I live. We would have grown up in Skerries, like seeing the Mournes from a distance, because just where it was situated on the east coast and you could see them. But it was only really in the last kind of year and a half that I've had this very, very strong relationship with them. And I guess like it was the first one of the Mournes that I hiked properly, and I was going through like the way like I don't know like a transition, I suppose, in my life, and kind of for the first time I had to kind of take a little bit of time off work for stress, and it just really meant so much to me, I think, and it's a mountain. I suppose this is my 5th time doing it within quite a short space of time, because I find it very, very comforting. And maybe it is because like it was a real, in a time where it was the deepest, darkest January. I'm not like necessarily a winter person, and then I was going through this kind of hard time and trying to work out shit. But it ended with dancing at the Crossroads and having that feeling of that there was something much bigger than I was myself, and it just takes you, like it's a mountain that takes you out of yourself. And I think it's it's not only like, I suppose the first part of the hike is quite steep, and so it's kind of not hard going, but it's the hardest part of the hike. But then when you get to the mountain itself, and then certainly towards north, Thor is like the rock formations themselves are so out of this world that you just go, you know what, nothing else really matters except this mountain.
Yeah. Wow.
So that sounds very gushy. We love you, Binnian.
Why not? I mean, it's amazing to have this connection and appreciation to a specific hill, and hills overall, but this space which means so much to you. I think that's exactly what I'm interested in hearing about in this podcast, why people have these connections to places. If you could kind of zero in on maybe one or two moments on Binnian or in the Mournes overall that were just magic to you, and share those with us. I mean, you mentioned one about camping, which sounded pretty magic.
Yes. So I'm also a scout leader. So May 2025, it was really, really stunning hot weather. And we brought 4 scouts, along with, 50 other troops were there as well. Scout groups were there. and we hiked 7 peaks, I think, and we camped at the end of Ben Crom Reservoir, which I would say is probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever camped in my life. There's a babbling brook called Barbara, obviously, who, the way that flowed through with beautiful fresh water, and you're surrounded by very, very kind of steep mountains on surrounding you. And I guess, I think we talked about it on the mountain itself, that it's not only like the feeling of being there and being in the moment of being on the mountain, but it's afterwards, like that you're feeling the residue of that space afterwards. And whenever I kind of feel, I guess, if you're feeling kind of crap or whatever, I kind of go back to that moment of camping there in that place, or being on Binnian, or so there's all of these kind of spin-off benefits, I guess, that I don't think we appreciate them enough. How it's not only about, yes, we had a great day hiking, but it's kind of afterwards that you can kind of go, like if you bringing yourself back to that place, or that happy place, I guess is really important.
Yeah, yeah, and you have this image and feeling of that happy place that you can go into. It provides you a wormhole to get into it.
Yes, it's a wormhole.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
Which is so powerful, because you have the wormhole you have this, probably the smell, all the different senses of the wormhole are there for you. It's the sound of the babbling brook. It's the feeling of being not hemmed in, but like held by these cliffs on all sides. Not cliffs, like steep banks. Yeah. And the image is, and we had a little glance at Ben Crom from above. That was one of the moments when the clouds cleared for a second. You spoke about this hiker's high, and I know you swim, you do some swimming in the sea as well. You have that swimmer's high. What would be a moment, like either on Binnian or at any other moment that you've had of just a joyous high after a natural or nature experience?
Oh, yes. And actually, I meant it like Slieve Binnian, which is like not so far away. No. It's kind of nearer again, like, it's probably more towards kind of like the Cooley Mountains. So it's like kind of south of here. Was it February? So it would be Imblock, and like on the day of, like, we associated with Bridget and Bridget's Day, and Imbolc is the name of it from kind of ancient times. Yeah. And we went up there to collect some rushes to make some Bridget crosses, and went up to the lake up there and swam in the lake.
Did you swim in that lake?
Yes, it was February 1st, and it was so beautiful and cold, obviously, and again, no visibility. And there was 3 teenage boys, age 14, who we just had the best crack with. They gave us a jammy dodger for after our swim, which we kind of left on the rock, and got in for a swim, and they were fascinated by like us getting in for a swim, and just the banter that day, and the high of being there, and the high of like swimming in this nice cold water in this very, very mystical place, I guess. That's a standout moment. Then there's another great loop that you can do with Meal Moor and Meal Beag, and Loch Shanna. Yeah, so it's the 3. And there was one day that we had like no visibility at all, but it's the type of hike that you just follow the Mourne wall. And I think just, again, similar to today, where like it's just nothingness, kind of gives you, because there's no visibility and you can't see, and it's just about you and the mountain and walking, and you don't even realise that you're walking or hiking. And I think that's kind of what gives you your high almost, because it's allowing your mind to just be completely clear of anything else that's happening.
Yeah. Just the repetition in a way, the autopilot, just the rhythm to you walk and you're in this otherworldly space. Yeah. What did the guy tell us today? Let the air...
Let the air into your lungs. Yes. Let the air into your lungs.
I have the feeling sometime when I'm in a place like today where the wind is so, it's howling.
Yes.
Where I imagine, and I know this is not true, I know that it doesn't work like that, but I wish it would. But I feel it's kind of going into one ear and coming out the other one. And it's just like blowing all the cobwebs out of my brain.
God,
it's like a wind
like,
tunnel through the ears. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's a great image.
Right?
To have,
and it's just, you're up there and you're like, oh, wow, it's doing that. Yeah. Which is just absolutely fantastic. Wow.
And there's so many moments, I guess. There was a lovely moment on Donard. It's not one of my favourites in the Mournes, and only it's a beautiful mountain, but obviously it's busier. And it's one thing I love about the Mournes is that there isn't really, for some, and maybe that's what makes it so beautiful. There's not a huge amount of people that are conquering, I guess, the mountains here, which is lovely. But a moment on Donard where there's a lot of wild horses there. I didn't realise, maybe they were just out that day, and just seeing like a mom and her foal who was only about a week old, just, being, again, just being in their natural habitat as well. And maybe they're being shy with people, but still kind of the way being curious enough to come over and maybe kind of say hello. Yeah, that was very special to see them there.
Oh, that is a beautiful, beautiful memory.
Yeah, and then I think as well that the ravens that are up here as well have they're so majestic as well. We didn't see many today. But how they fly, and again, I suppose it's just like if we see kind of like our flora and fauna, and how they interact together with the mountains, and if we're kind of if we can almost, consider ourselves the same, the way if we kind of that it's more fluid in how we interact, I can't think with nature, we might have some chance of survival on this planet. I don't know.
Yeah, well, here's hoping.
Here's hoping. Yeah.
If you imagined yourself sitting on the bank of one of the Barbaras, one of the brooks, bubbling down like a waterfall, on a day where it's perhaps slightly warmer, so you can just sit outside and you're enjoying yourself, and you have your Wessel Gummidge hat on. Lizzy has a wonderful, wonderful hat. It is just absolutely fantastic. And you'd be having a little snack.
Yes.
What would that snack be?
Tato crisps. Sorry, I didn't mean to advertise.
Tato, get in touch with us.
Tato crisps. Yes. But
flavour?
anything tastes good on a mountain.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I would have potato crisps, I think. Or some fruit. Really anything.
Anything. But I'm glad that
Tato
was the first thing that came to your
Yes,
head.
oh no, that's just my gut.
Which flavour?
My gut. Oh, cheese and onion.
Cheese and onion, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorted instead.
But I'd have to, I know this is terrible, but I'd have to get potato crisps from down south. Sorry, Northern Ireland crisps are not as good.
I'd say, out of all the sources for conflict, that's probably the biggest one.
Could be, exactly.
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest one.
That's what it was all about. It was. Some people say it was about religion. It wasn't really. It was about it was a battle of the potato. Just caused all of this. But I think in the Mournes, you really don't feel the the conflict. It's away from I actually, like, you would hear a lot of like local people, like, you know, in these mountains, and I'd say it's a great, like, during the Troubles, I'd say it was a great source of solace to them as well. And I've even heard people like skiing up here and or, you know, snow.
Really?
Yeah, and sleighing and the whole thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. Like, you know,
No.
I met a couple of people in Belfast there who were telling me about it. Yeah.
Wow. That would be a beautiful, beautiful thing to do if and when the weather came.
Yes.
Yeah. To finish us up, because you have a lovely thing to do this evening.
Yes, my friend unfortunately broke her foot, so I am taking her David Byrne ticket, and I'm going with my best friend to St. Anne's Park to see him.
Can you sing us a song, a David Byrne song?
I can't really, you know, no. As the days go by.
There we go, that's perfect. And Lizzie, I don't know if you know, but we always start the podcast and finish with a terrible dad joke.
Okay.
So this is your moment. Yeah, it can be a mum joke, you know, like it's a dreadful pun-based joke.
Pun, it has to be a pun-based.
It has to be a terrible pun-based joke.
Did you hear about the cheese factory that went on fire?
Maybe. What happened?
All that was left was debris.
Hey! That's a very good one. That is a very, very good one.
Have you got one as well? You could tell your more specific jokes.
Well, I think we should say the ones about Binnian, you know. Maybe you should say them if you remember them.
Oh, yeah, that's
please,
true.
Yeah.
What Mourne mountain has the most rubbish on it?
I don't know. Is it Slieve Binnian?
Yes! Or we could say Slieve Muck.
We could say Slieve Muck. Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. And what do you get on your feet after you climb a mountain in the Mournes?
I don't know. What do you get on your feet?
You get a Slieve Binnian. Oh, Lizzie, thank you for introducing me to Slieve Binnian, and for a wonderful hike. And thank you for coming on the podcast.
Well, thank you for indulging me in Binnian, and do come again.
Thank you.
And I would tell everybody just, well, I don't want to make it too busy because that's really selfish, but do go and do come. If you're going to come to the Mournes, come to Slieve Binnian.
It's a really, really gorgeous place. Thank you.
Thank you.
Some say the old ruins in the sand tell us every story will come to an end. But my dear, we can live what we tell. We are storytelling animals.